Hey! Cut loose, baby.
Top sports where the takes don't miss. The prof with the stats, the champ with the fist. Water bringing fire, cowboy tie riding bull. Bulls calling bets, watch the stories unfold. And it's truly eyebrows
Running the show. It's Hot Top Sports, baby. Let's get it, let's go. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. Welcome back to High Top Sports for Monday mashup. Boy, oh boy, we got ourselves a week. We got ourselves a show. It got wild last night as Brian Kelly was canned. We talked about it on last night's show, and last night's show was an absolute banger. If you're a Florida fan and you just want to get up and get now about what's going on with Florida football and the coaching, boy, oh boy, I put on a lesson. I put on a class yesterday, so make sure you guys tune into that one. Class was in session with Ali Peak. It was a great show. But today we got the boys on here. It's not going to be as impressive, but we do what we do. We deal with it, okay? Cody the Prof and Cowboy Ty join us here. We love them to death. We're going to be talking about LSU A&M. Is A&M the real deal? Are they going to run away with this damn thing, being undefeated thus far? I got questions still. We're going to talk about it. Marcel Reed, it's a liability. Just been saying it. Still not sold. Brent Venables, it's been the year of firing. Could he be next on the list? Tough. And Bama hangs on versus SC. And Eli goes down once his quarterback, Bo Pribulu, gets his ankle snapped. Boys and girls, good morning, good evening. This show is brought to you by Prize Picks. Cody the Prof joins us here alongside Cowboy Ty.
We didn't lose this week, baby. Let's go.
Let's go. Boys are back. All right, listen, none of us lost this week. It was great all the way around. If Miami would have lost, it would have been a great weekend. But they know how to beat a tree that plays football. Weirdly enough, I don't understand.
We do not know how to beat the trees.
All right. Bro, Stanford went down and scored. I go, oh, don't do it to me. Don't give it to me twice in a row. They had Andrew Luck on the sideline. They were interviewing him. He's smiling, giggling like he had like the Morse code cheat code to beat Miami. And then Miami did what Miami does and thumped them. So
yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
2 great weeks for Gator fans. You know, you fire your coach, get the win over Mississippi State. Good bye week. I mean, coaching talk.
Are we on the turn? Are we on the turn?
Listen, you guys
Possibly.
got a lot of competition now for them head coaches, buddy. It's starting to get dicey. You're all gonna have a lot of comp.
All right, we're gonna get into that here in just a minute, but I don't want to forget this. Cody, do we have the beer of the day?
No beer of the day today. I gotta go to the
how are we?
B&B
Hold on.
shit.
How are we gonna roll out a segment last week? Get all the people fired up
dude.
to come rolling back in to see beer of the day. You're like, and then this is how we deliver. This is unbelievable.
We'll have beer of the day tomorrow. I got a good one for tomorrow.
Oh, you
banger.
dude. No
I just
haircut?
can't today. I got a bunch of errands.
Energy
No
drink in the
haircut?
bag.
I gotta go to.
Oh, now we're an adult. Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
Unfortunately.
Unbelievable. That's the reason I woke up this morning. Give a damn about this show.
All I hear is
Or we
change.
just want beer of the
change.
Yeah, you've changed. Yeah, you're a different man. Yeah. I love this. So look, I was thinking about it today. I came across an FSU fan last night, and you guys are all the same. Not you though, Ty. I was like, look, Ty's the only one that's not.
Wow.
You showed some signs of it. When you guys were losing, but you throttled back. No, I'm not kidding. You guys are all the same. You guys are all soft, sensitive little tool bags. Not you, Tom. I'm not talking about you. All right. The ones that are watching, they know who I'm talking about. It's unbelievable how you guys are all the same. And one of them texted me in typical pansy fashion of, oh, well, now look at the competition, you guys. Like, you guys are making a better financial decision. Like, this is where you FSU fans are trying to go, that you're sticking with the coach that's one more than James Franklin lost in 3 years, and you're trying to justify because the coaching search is tough. You would love to be in our situation right now. You would love to be in this tough coaching battle with the boys. Let's be honest.
I think that's a pretty stupid excuse. I'm not going to sit here and lie. That is not what I believe. I don't think it's not tough to find a coach. It's just tough to get a right fit. I mean, let's not get it twisted. And when you can't win an ACC game, I think it's time for a change. I don't know. Call me crazy.
I don't know. Next year might be the year for you guys to go get your coach, because it seems like by the day coaches are dropping and the carousel's getting bigger and bigger.
Oh, it's going to be a lot bigger at the end of the year too. I can guarantee you that.
Let me ask you this. Let's play a game really quick. been playing a lot of games lately. They've been fun for you, Ty. Just you. Let's say at the end of the year, come December 1st, the open availabilities is Florida, Penn State, LSU, Auburn, Oklahoma, and we'll throw in FSU. Rake me the most viable jobs.
Well,
the best
a lot of
jobs
teams.
out
I don't
there.
know if I can remember them all. I mean, it's a lot of teams you just said. Give me to them again. I mean,
Yeah, Penn
I have
State,
LSU.
the three that are available right now, Penn State, LSU, Florida,
Yeah.
and then Florida State, Auburn, and Oklahoma are the three add-ons.
Okay. I would that's tough, but it depends. I mean, I think the Florida job is very appealing just because that you 100% you're in the SEC. You already have like top talent. LSU is probably up there as well, number 2. You know, it's so hard to rank. I rank I think the people want the SEC jobs more just because of the amount of competition. But then again, like some of these coaches also, I don't know if they want that kind of competition. So like it's obviously we're seeing how hard it is to get fired, like easy it is to get fired. So like if you go in the SEC and you're playing 4 or 5 ranked teams and you lose 3 of them in a row and you're gone, like maybe you don't want that job. Maybe you want FSU who can still get talent. Like I don't know. The schedule will be easier in my opinion. So it's just more of like how you feel. Do you want like the flashy competition, or do you want to keep a job? I mean, I don't know. Like to me, I think LSU and Florida are the 2 best jobs available and most appealing to coaches. But after that, I think it's just kind of wide open.
Yeah, I just wanted to hear you say that FSU was last. Some FSU fan was trying to say that Florida.
I don't
FSU
think
I don't think we're
FSU is
last,
last.
but
No, I know.
I don't
but
think
I don't think it's
FSU is
last.
last in that group. I think FSU
I
is a better
also
job
agree.
than Auburn and Oklahoma.
I also agree. I mean, you first of all, you
Auburn's
You
got
get
to
the
think about this.
ACC. Listen,
Auburn's tough.
you get
But Oklahoma,
you
I
get
can
the
see.
you get the ACC. So you're gonna have a clear shot to win
Right.
every
That's
year,
my point.
even on down years. You still have pretty good boosters as opposed to money. They just revamped the stadium. They weren't scared to sign the coach that they thought was going to be the next coming of Nick Saban to a monster deal. So they're not scared of that. They're not scared of, oh, well, we're going to sit on our hands and let this coach go. And you get the recruiting prowess of FSU in Florida. It's a lot
Yeah,
easier for FSU to go recruit high school talent than it is Auburn and Oklahoma. I mean, Oklahoma's getting the
also
scraps from Texas.
Florida
There's
is a
no
more appealing
great
state than
elite
any of these
players
other
coming out of
states.
Oklahoma.
Florida ain't got no state tax. You ain't got to pay millions to the state. I mean, come on now.
Yep.
Yeah,
Look at it as a family standpoint.
I think this is a great take because obviously, like, this is running rampant right now. And you've got everybody that was born before 1965 or has a picture with a coach that's listing these rankings of best available jobs. And I said it yesterday. I go, look, everyone's like, oh, LSU's open, Lane's going to go. I go, I've been saying it before the LSU job opened. I go, hold on. People were saying he wasn't going to leave Ole Miss. I'll play the game. Let's say LSU's better than UF. We're talking maybe a foot pedal better. Like it's not like it's leaps and bounds better. So if Lane is willing to leave for LSU, then he was going to leave for Florida, right? Ole Miss fans, like let's play the game here. If he was going to leave for LSU, he was going to leave for Florida. My point is that. But you were saying like, oh, Ole Miss is a great job. It's still great. It's great because he's there. It's great because he loves where he's at. It's great because the pressure isn't that high. It's great because he's built something there that he can continue to build on. And 904 Hurricane makes a great point. And I said this yesterday. It's in the eye of the beholder, right? Top destination is based off coach's preference. And that's where it's kind of really gotten to be quite honest with you. I think because of the new landscape of college football and because of the avenues to get to the playoffs, look, there's still guys that want to just play with the chaos, that want to have the crazy girlfriend, right? That are just wild and just live close to the sun. That's an SEC job in a nutshell. And there's obviously still tiers to the SEC job. There's coaches that want that 100%. But at the same time, like if you're trying to really say, hey, which one's better because of recruiting and all these things, nowadays with NIL, like if you I went and looked at it yesterday, I was like, oh, LSU is a recruiting fertile ground. Well, LSU had 9 of their 23 commits from LSU. Florida had 12 of 24 with more competition. Well, Brian Kelly didn't recruit in LSU. Okay, that supports what I'm saying. If you don't go to where you're supposed to be at and and recruit properly. Hell, when Kalen DeBoer's first year, he got half his talent from the West Coast. So it doesn't really matter just because if a coach likes it, they don't utilize what's around them. It doesn't matter. So I think in the new day and age, it's not 1995 anymore where it just kind of like it's a built into a again, I understand people want to die and live in LSU, those players, and I still think that is a factor 100%. But there's more there's a bigger talent pool in Florida than LSU, so you're able to spread it around. And I think with NIL and the ability to pay these kids, more kids are more likely to move. So I'm kind of overhearing about it. I more just wanted to play with Ty about the ranking of the jobs. It really comes down to where do you want to coach and where do you want to run with.
I honestly, in all truthfulness, I think that the best job for James Franklin is the Florida State job, in my opinion. That's a program that you can easily build like he did at Penn State, and I think it's the best fit for him. But like, does he believe that? I don't know. That's not what I'm saying, but I believe that's the best fit.
Gator fans might not like this, but FSU is a better job than Penn State.
Agreed.
What has Penn State done? Like, Penn State is there. You know what Penn State is relevant for in my lifetime? Born in 1991. I can tell you.
Easy.
I can tell you.
Easy. Just easy.
It's not good.
Easy. Okay. God, beer corn almost got wild there for a minute. You don't ever know when Cody starts getting loud, when the octaves start getting higher, you don't know where it's gonna go. You got to bring him back come back in the lane, Cody. It's just we've in the group chat like, Cody, you can't say these things. Remember we didn't go live with these things? Like, Cody, we can't say these things on the internet.
I mean, but like Brian Kelly, Kelly with all the situations he's had over his life too, and then he comes out with that stupid video with his recruit. I mean, once again, that guy
Brian Kelly was never a good fit. I'm telling you, they wanted Jimbo Fisher from the get-go. They couldn't get him from Texas A&M. That's probably going to be the guy that they're going to call.
Look, this is the thing about Penn State, and Penn State owns their state. It's very similar to LSU, where they're able to just pluck out of there. But again, like, this is where it's funny when people are saying like, hey, why is this job better? Right? It'll come down to history. It'll come to recruiting. Like, there's so many things like, oh, like, what makes it better? It's like, okay, well, sure, they own the state of Penn State. How much talent's coming out of Penn State? Or excuse me, Pennsylvania. None. Right? So like, that's and again, the history, Penn State's history is, maybe if we really want to kind of break it down from our lifetime perspective, which when again, this is where I say I made the joke before 1965. And this is where, look, Florida personally has a struggle with this because the kids nowadays don't know the Florida of Swamp Kings. They don't know Florida like that. Like, Florida doesn't look to them like that. So when you want to talk about it being a better job, like, it doesn't have that same aura as it once did. Like, we could go back and forth about it all day long. I'm kind of sick of hearing about it. It's just
Florida State's off a 13-0 type of 13-1, like you guys like to tell me, but 13-1
it was
season 2 years ago. I mean, it's not like they get talent, but you got to be able to coach.
That was all portal, though. That had nothing to do with recruiting.
I understand, but like, it doesn't mean that you're not getting talent.
Look, I think Florida State is in a very similar. I don't necessarily think that it's. And again, I'm biased, so take this with a grain of salt, genuinely. Because when Florida State's rocking, dude, the thing's rocking. Like, let's be honest. Yep. I mean, it's just like it's like any great program. When it is on its on a burner, dude. My goodness, it is something else to watch. I will say it definitely still lacks a little bit of the same sexiness as the other schools. I would say it's a tier lower. I mean, we're talking how much lower? Not much, but even so, when you went your 13-1 season, I don't feel like you guys capitalized on it like you could have from a recruiting perspective. Again, top recruiting classes in Florida State.
I don't think Norvell's a great recruiter. I do not disagree. And then I think his nail in the coffin was the Stanford game. I think that was his nail in the coffin.
They haven't got the dominant recruits like they used to. I mean, I remember FSU during the Dalvin Cook era. Oh my goodness! I mean, that you did not want to step in front of that buzzsaw.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
Cook, Jalen Ramsey. That's some talent.
You can get all the recruits you want, but if you can't develop your recruits, then your recruit's just a recruit at that point.
Yeah, Jimbo recruited well everywhere he's gone. I mean, he did it at A&M too. He just had a hard time developing it. Obviously, couldn't deal with it.
I wouldn't be shocked if Jimbo came back to Florida State, in all truthfulness.
Yeah, you almost got it.
You almost have to go ultra the other way that you've went. So you've went ultra portal heavy. I think you almost at high school evaluation and talent, because if you've lost, you know, a lot of high schools, they're not even recruiting in FSU no more.
It is weird on the Jimbo Fisher thing because of like, I feel like him being, I don't want to say blackballed, not come back, but when you hear his name, I mean, if you put him, like, I put him in the same category as James Franklin. The guy won where he went, obviously fell off at A&M, but he shows that he recruited well. If I pull it up, if I did a little chart for him like I did last night for everybody else, I'm sure it looks fantastic. The cost evaluation is probably a bit lower than people are available right now, and he has something that none of these other coaches have. He at least won a championship, which is hard to do. So, and played in this world. He dealt in it. He was doing NIL before NIL was cool. And so, because he was cheating, but that's besides the point. Yeah, like if you're FSU and you're looking around like, hey man, do we circle back the wagon and try this thing again? Like that's kind of where it's at. You either
Jimbo
take a
still
risk.
Want to be there.
Huh?
Jimbo was there with Fox at Miami, and I can tell you, he looked like he wanted to be there.
Yeah, he was emotional during that game.
Yeah, he wanted to be there. So
you take it back?
I don't know. I mean, you can't listen. You can't do any damn worse. I can tell you that. So
he doesn't have a buyout.
I like his recruiting abilities.
It's weird what time
He
we'll do
doesn't
with
have
the
buyout.
soul. You know, weird what time we'll do it. They're still paying him probably. Oh, that's A&M. That's A&M.
You know, I just never want to get so down bad. I never want to get so down bad to where I'm asking Billy to come back.
Well, that's not the same thing. Or Jimbo won a
Things
championship.
have-
We asked
we
asked Urban to come back all the time, so we actually do that, Cody. That's more similar. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not great on your takes lately. I mean, we're still. Here's what I love about the show. We'll move on to the Brian Kelly thing. That's why I keep Cody on the show, because with every bad take that I have, Cody literally says, "Hold my beer," unless it's not not beer of the day, and he goes, "I've got one better." The guy is phenomenal. Yesterday morning, we crack open, we get rocking and rolling, and we're trying to. I figure me and Cody on the same page here. Like Cody is literally living on a different planet, because I'm like, all right, yeah, Brian Kelly's gone. Cody, what do you think? And Cody comes from left field and goes, "Nah, Brian's not going anywhere. You're crazy." This is what he said, Ty. He goes, "The expectation for LSU is not high this year." And I was like, "Are you high right now? What are you talking about?" And he goes, "No, he's not going anywhere."
I wasn't high on him.
Lattes?
Thank you.
No, I just wasn't high on him.
Well, I mean, they went out and like they said, they got all these. They had their recruits, and they went into the portal and got all these guys that were.
We did this yesterday. I just wanted to.
There's just so many holes. There's so many holes and questions for me. I think
Cody's like, I know ball. Sorry, they don't.
From what I understood, they were going to win a national title this year. That's what they thought. So.
Yeah, well, we're not. They ain't going to win it now. They ain't got a coach.
They should have been watching the show, I guess. That's what they should have been doing. Yeah. So Brian Kelly gets let go. I mean, quick, brother. I actually have it on good authority. I talked with Allie Peak on her show last night. I don't know when that's going to come out, but apparently the straw that broke the camel's back. It was being reported. So this isn't like just kind of hearsay, she say, but I believe they asked Brian to fire the offensive coordinator, and Brian's like, "That's fine, but I'm also going to fire the O-line coach." And the AD was like, "No, you're not going to do that. You're going to just fire the offensive coordinator." Brian goes, No. I'm going to fire the O-line coach too," which he should, because they suck ass. And the AD goes, No, you're not. And then he fired Brian Kelly. He said, "I'm not going to go back and forth with you." That's what's being reported. So we've got a straight up pissing contest with old boy there.
Is that a legit firing?
What do you mean?
Can they do that? Can he just do that with like no
booster
influence, no nothing? No board. You ain't got to get it approved by the board.
Is this sarcasm here? I'm not quite sure how to pick this up on this one.
Golly, just
over
a pissing match.
Whatever the hell you want.
Oh, I'm sure that the noise is already there. If I had to guess, that probably the board was like, "Hey, fire him or make him do this," and then that's probably what it built up to.
I mean, their offense is miserable right now. They're like 122nd in the country passing. They're just absolutely miserable.
Why?
And they can't stop anybody. It's crazy.
Well, and the worst thing about that LSU A&M game is they were really in it until the second half, and then it just unraveled.
No, they were never in it. You know how we know this?
They were in it. You didn't watch the first half, then, bud.
You didn't watch all college football preseason debate shows either, then, Cody.
They were in it.
No,
they were in that game to win it.
No, they were not.
Yes.
You want to know why they weren't?
Didn't have a giant lead.
You know why I know they weren't in it?
Like they were going to win at any point.
You know why they weren't in
they
it? Because I told my buddy to take A&M minus 6.5, and he goes, why? Because if you watch the game, LSU hadn't done anything yet. Marcel Reed turned the ball over twice, which gave LSU good field position, but LSU hadn't moved the ball the entire first half. And A&M marched up and down the football field twice and turned it over in the red zone twice. So I was like, A&M's not going to continue to do that. And guess what? The second half came out, and LSU did exactly what they've been doing the entire first half. Didn't do anything and didn't score another point because Mike Elko said, all right, I'm done playing with you, you chumps. Let's go. They drove down there, A&M, twice without – it felt like nobody was on the football field. And I was like, holy crap. Because that was my thing. I thought LSU's defense was going to be able to hold Marcel Reed. And they went, boop, 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 boop. Here we are. And Marcel Reed was their problem. It wasn't close.
I was more surprised in LSU's run game. They found that little spark with Barry.
I love
it. They seem to be able to run the ball a little bit, and then the wheels.
But they had a lot of momentum.
Off.
They got a momentum for a block kick that went on the back of the end zone too, and they. Still
that too. That too.
Yeah,
like crazy. They had 18 points out of craziness. Like the offense wasn't. It was like Florida football, where it was like, yo, they're just like they're doing crazy things to put points on the board, and A&M was like literally just shooting themselves in the foot. And I was like, well, they're not going to do this the whole game.
Well,
Marcel Reed still tried to give that game away at the end too.
Get Grey Goose and Cody's bottle stat. This is what happens when you miss beer day, Cody. You're off your game, brother. Okay.
I'm not.
The chat. I told Cody when he got here. I go, you've been off since yesterday, and it's rolling over till today.
Don't lose 3 in a row in your conference, or you lose your damn job. That's what we've learned.
Unless you're Mike Norvell. Then you can lose. Then you cannot win a conference game forever and still have your job.
You can lose 12 in a row.
How many days has it been? Ty?
I lost track.
Do we have an update?
Like 4:15 or so. It's like 4:15.
I think it's older than my son.
And somehow we're favored again this week. I mean, we're favored against Wake, but I don't feel good about it. I can tell you, I don't feel good about it.
Oh man. All right, let's talk. We'll kind of we're already kind of in it, but the LSU A&M game. We talked about LSU part a little bit. I mean, Nussmeier. I mean, what a disappointment there. We had him high on our list. Shout out to Will Miles from Read and React, who was not high on Nussmeier. The one thing he nailed on the head for sure. We were much higher on DJ, which didn't pan out. But offensively, man, they have not been able to figure it out. I wonder if they're gonna have a nice little bounce back. They've got a hell of a schedule remaining for them. Let's take a look at it here after just getting wally-whopped by A&M, 49-25. They got Alabama on the road. Then they have Arkansas, which I would be deathly afraid to play Arkansas right now. I mean, Bobby Petrino hasn't won anything, but that guy is just like he just needs one, depressed football team to walk up in there and not feel confident to get it done. He had an opportunity with Auburn. They got out of the depression, and then they go to Oklahoma on the road. So LSU's skid could come mightily here.
Listen, I know everyone's like blaming Nussmeier. Listen, I still think he's a better pro prospect than most of these other guys. I don't think it's him. I really don't. Like, I think it has a lot to do with the O-line's bad. I think that the play calling has not been ideal. It doesn't seem like they're on the same page as the receivers. Everyone seems lost. The only guy that looks anywhere half decent is Trey Green. I mean, throw it to that guy. That guy catches the ball every damn time. I don't know. They never once throw a jump ball to him in the red zone. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand. They ran 4 wide receivers to the right. They had Green 1-on-1 on the left with like a 5'11" corner, and they ran a quarterback draw. I mean, what are we doing? Like, that's awful. That's just awful. You didn't even try to throw a fade to him. Makes no sense. No sense.
Yeah, it's a tough day to be Tiger fans. Every week that I see Texas A&M play, I could see them being a one and done in the playoffs. Like, Marcel Reed just scares the living crap out of me. And
all of a sudden, he's back in his bag. He's back in his bag. This is my take. Bastard.
I know that defense is pretty good. But they are very banged up at running back. Their running back Saturday got hurt again. The backup. I think they're going to be a one and done playoff team. I really do, because Marcel Reed was force feeding that LSU defense. Anymore. I mean, it wasn't like they were making these, great catches. He had a bunch of swatted balls. He did not look good. I mean, he was throwing right into the numbers of DBs.
He's right, Ty. You're wrong. I got you, Cody. I got your
disagree.
back,
I
fella.
I think,
I'm Team Cody
I
here.
think you live and die by Marcel Reed, and he's a gunslinger.
Yeah, you're gonna die first
Yeah, you're
round.
gonna die.
You get a good
You're gonna
defense.
die.
You're gonna die when he has a 5-pick game.
There's too many playmakers on that team. I'm telling you. They can.
Okay, so
you guys are. I watched Marcel Reed in the pocket, and I can tell you, he looked pretty good with his footwork. Now he has bad decision making sometimes, but his footwork looked pretty damn good from what he had.
That's even worse.
He's getting better. I feel like he's getting better. I know he turned the ball over twice, but I'm telling you, he's getting better, and he's starting to run the ball more, which he is very good at. He ran for 100 yards against LSU.
He did,
and he threw for 202. And I can tell you, he threw a lot of good balls. And he threw some back. Did you see the ball where he rolled out to his left, threw it back over top the defender, and it was a one-handed catch? But don't get me wrong, it was a hell of a throw.
Yeah, it was. Across the field, that catch was wild. Yeah, that catch was wild. I was going. As soon as that happened, I go, "This game's over."
I also saw him throw. Two beautiful picks. I mean, as accurate as
he was
can
12,
be. Right,
he was 12. He was 12 for 12. Here, all right, let me go. It's my turn. No, Cody stole my thunder. You're trying to steal it with these nonsense takes. Look, A&M is a phenomenal football team, and I've been saying it all year long. I think they are really good. And I've been saying it. I've been beating the drum. When we talked about, hey, what teams are going to go, we're going to have our Heisman talk tomorrow, and Marcel Reed is going to be in that conversation because he has to be.
Well, he should be.
But he shouldn't be in the lead. He's not in the lead, in my opinion, but he's going to be in the conversation just because that's how this place works. I mean, I saw the game happen, and Hayes Foster goes, why aren't we having conversations about Marcel Reed? I go, my goodness, this is asinine. But my point of it is, I go, A&M is a really good football team. It's going to come down to Marcel Reed. And Marcel Reed scares the living crap out of me. Marcel Reed, in my opinion, hasn't been battle tested, and I was really looking forward to this LSU game, and I go, crap, I forgot LSU sucks ass. But I thought defensively they were going to give him more fits, which they did earlier on a little bit when, again, he was 12 for 21 with 2 interceptions. Let me go, Ty. You win. Let me go. Did he run all over them?
I'm not saying a word.
No, I don't like your face right now.
I'm giving you a stupid face. I'm giving you a stupid face.
I don't like your face right now. Did he run? Look, I'm not saying this guy can't play quarterback. I think he's really good. I think he's awesome. But I still think that he is a liability. Go watch the Florida game. Florida put this man in a blender, I say lightly, okay? But Ron Roberts did a phenomenal job adjusting. And when they adjusted and made Marcel Reed make decisions, that game was closer than it should have been. Florida was in it with A&M on the road up until the fourth quarter because Ron Roberts shut down after they went down and marched down the football field and shut them down and forced him to make hard throws on third, 5 and longer, and Marcel Reed couldn't hit him. He was behind the sticks, behind the catcher almost every single time. Those are my concerns. His ability to see over the line. I'm telling you, this Mizzou game on the road is going to be very interesting because I think this Mizzou's defense is going to give him some fits. Unfortunately, they don't have an answer offensively. And if you go look at their team, I'm almost done. The hardest game that they went after was Notre Dame, and he looked great in that game. Okay, but I want to say they ran the ball very well too during that game as well. But he threw for 360 yards, so he crushed at that game. That was the only game, in my opinion, where he had to step up and be Marcel Reed, and he did. He did a phenomenal job. Outside of that, Auburn didn't. I mean, they scored 16 points. It was a defensive battle. Mississippi State, it was 31. That game was ugly. He didn't do much at all during that game. Florida, again, I just described that game to you. Arkansas, they got into a shootout. Arkansas's ass, and then LSU, we know how that game worked out too. So I agree with Cody. I like your take on a one team out bounce off. I see it happening.
This is what I think. I think Marcel Reed gets a little better every week. Now, is there some decision-making problems? So he's a true sophomore that's getting better.
I'm not hating, Ty.
I know,
I'm not,
but you guys are acting like your defense isn't good. You guys got 4 or 5 NFL players on that side of the football.
Yeah, but I also think that our defense was being bullied by their line and was extremely thin, and we were still able to just scheme up some things. All I'm saying is, I'm saying, okay, I'm not saying Marcel Reed's ass by any stretch of the imagination. I'm saying that Texas A&M is a national championship caliber team with a massive liability at quarterback. That's all that I'm saying. Yep. That if you take any of the other,
he's a liability. I think he's someone who you have.
He's
to
the reason they lose.
By his
he's the reason they lose. I think this team is
so
good.
They haven't lost yet, so there you go.
No, I know, but he would be the reason they lose. That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's the reason they're winning right now. That's also what
I
I'm saying.
disagree. I think that they have the right tools and the athletes
That's
at
fine.
the
That's
receiver
fine.
position.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You can be wrong.
We're
That's
allowed to
cool. Like
disagree.
we're allowed to be wrong on these shows. Cody was wrong yesterday, so it's fine.
I mean, you guys are Florida fans. I mean, that's wrong.
Look, I'm genuinely. I like what A&M is doing. I love Elko. Like, it's really fun to watch. Genuinely,
I get it.
if
That's
I'm
what
a
makes these
betting
shows
man,
great.
I am concerned for Marcel Reed. And I said the same thing about Miami with Carson Beck. It's the same thing. Like, I have questions.
We've always been on the same page with that, and it's already showed.
Where's the hiccup on these other teams? I mean, right now, like Ole Miss. I mean, they look pretty sound. Where would you be your liability for Ole Miss?
Their defense is a liability.
Okay, so they
sure.
have issues, but they answered the buck a little bit this week, which we'll get into.
I mean, they played well, but like, I don't know.
Hometown team
Ole
doesn't have
Miss's
any
defense is
liabilities.
going to eventually not be no good. It's going to kill them at some point, and it showed in Georgia game. The whole team didn't punt. When you don't hold a team to one punt, you're a liability on defense. Just that simple.
Look, this comment here from Steele. Texas A&M look like a real problem for any team who has to play them. I am on board with you. I can't stress this enough. I am picking A&M to win the championship. Okay, that's where I'm at with this. But Marcel Reed scares the living crap out of me. That's all that I'm saying. It has nothing to do with the team. I think this team is so dang good, but I just think that Marcel Reed, it's so good that Marcel Reed is looking like more inflated than what he actually is. If you take Marcel, and look, that's part of the game. I'm not hear me out here. But I think if it comes down to it, and I need Marcel Reed to make a big time play, that's where I get a little concerned. If you give A&M and Alabama on a neutral field right now, Alabama curb stomps them. I believe that. I really do.
Disagree.
Okay, that's fine. Hopefully we find out.
I think Ohio State too.
I think
Ohio
against
State
South Carolina?
Oh, bro.
South Carolina.
Look, we're going to get into that. Alabama has played a gauntlet of a schedule. They had to go play Beamer ball. They closed it out. Let's move on.
They couldn't run the ball.
Let's move on.
They can't run the ball. They can't run the ball.
Let's move on. All right, hold on. A couple super chats. I love it. $10. Go Gators. I think we win a bidding war. We're not in a bidding war. We're not in a bidding war. Pine Lab 712. FSU's better than Penn State? ? Are you? LOL, it's true. Great little tidbit there. I love that. Yeah, fun stuff. I'm fired up, boys. I apologize. I'm ready to rock and roll this morning, so I'm having a good time. Let me do this. You want to do Vandy Mizzou, guys?
Yeah,
well,
I thought
we
I
have
was
it on the
watching
board.
Minnesota. I thought I was watching Minnesota Iowa. That game.
Go ahead.
Tell me about it, Cody.
Vandy squeaks out another one. I mean, they just keep winning. It's not pretty. Missouri loses their quarterback, Bo Pebula. They have to go with Matt Zoller. He's a 4-star quarterback. I really liked him in high school, but
freshman.
Being true freshman, he's very young. He threw for 170, 175 and a touchdown. Just a little bit too late for Mizzou. I really like the quarterback, but I'm gonna stick a fork in Mizzou, and I'm offloading my Mizzou stock.
I mean, that's easy. Cody, they've lost.
You got to give Vanderbilt credit for winning in a different way. They won defensively. I mean, they made a goal line stand.
Yeah.
They won defensively. And then Diego, who had one of the worst games he's played all year, he goes down and they find a way to win another football game. That's all you got to do in this league is you have to find a way to win the way the playoffs are set, and that's what they did. They're a dog at Texas this week, but I think they're going to find a way to win also. I don't believe in Texas. The Mississippi State game that they had looked miserable. They got lucky, and they got all these things that haven't. They had an 80-yard punt return to win the football game pretty much. Arch goes down, and this quarterback comes in, throws an absolute dot to win the game in overtime. So I'm not sold on Texas. I think Vandy's a better football team than Texas at this point, and I think they're going to go into Texas and run the ball and run their little super veer and beat Texas also. It's crazy, but Vanderbilt's probably going to make – I think Vanderbilt's going to make the playoffs. I'm not saying they're making the SEC championship, but I think they're going to make the playoffs.
Well, I've been saying this. I don't know so this right here, A&M will play Bama and Atlanta, meaning the SEC championship. I don't know because A&M is undefeated, so if they win out, they'll get in. But Ole Miss is also – oh, no, Ole Miss has one loss. So, damn, you're right. They will play. Okay, never mind. You're right. You're right because they're the only two undefeated teams in the SEC. My bad. You're right, Van River. I'm an idiot. So there we'll get my matchup like I asked for. But we've got the 5 top teams in the SEC with 1 loss overall, or no losses, or only 1 loss in the SEC, and it's A&M, Bama, Georgia, Ole Miss, and Vandy, and they don't play each other. There's no crossover play there for the remaining of the games.
I don't know how that. I don't know the tiebreakers when it comes to that situation. If you have one teams that didn't play each other, it's a common opponent. Like how is the?
Well, I think it goes to
working?
overall record first.
Yeah, but then.
So right now, A&M and Bama don't play each other. They're both undefeated in the SEC. They're the only 2 teams undefeated in the SEC play. So right now, there's no issues.
There's also still a lot of football left too. Let's not get it twisted. I mean,
if Bama or Alabama loses, I think Ole Miss jumps them, but I could be wrong. Or Georgia, because Georgia only has 1 loss, and Vandy only has 1 loss.
Well,
so I don't know.
Georgia would jump Ole Miss because they won head to head. So Ole Miss definitely needs Georgia to lose to somebody.
Okay, yeah. And Bama beat Georgia, so if Bama loses, then it doesn't really matter. They stay in it as well. So, but they have 2 overall losses. But I guess that wouldn't matter.
Alabama's got LSU, Oklahoma, Auburn. They definitely could lose one of those games. I don't think it'll be LSU, but the Auburn game is always interesting because it's at Auburn, and we know how that goes.
That's going to be an interesting game. Agreed.
The Oklahoma game is going to be an interesting.
Vandy and Tennessee is going to be interesting because Tennessee's going to be fighting for their life at that game. I mean, right now it's crazy to think. Like I said this the other day,
racked up another win this weekend.
Texas, Tennessee, Mizzou, and Oklahoma all have 2 losses, right? And you would think if you finish the season with 2 losses in the SEC, you're in. And they're going to be sitting on the outside, which like a 3-loss Alabama team was last year, without a chance to get in. And you're going to have no joke because Vandy, Ole Miss, Georgia, Bama, and A&M don't have any crossover until the SEC championship, which at that point, whatever 2 teams make it, they're in. So you're going to have 5 SEC teams with a possible. If Texas is sitting there with only 2 losses at the end, they can be a hard fetch. If they are, Tyler, can I? Goodness. Oh no, they play Vanderbilt. You're right. Never mind. That wouldn't work out. That wouldn't work out.
Who's the 5? Right. Who's the 5?
A&M, Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss, and Vanderbilt. That's 4, right? No, that's 5. Yeah. They don't play each other. Now they have their own set of battles they have to go through, but if they all win out, which is likely, they would all finish with 1 loss or no losses, and 2 of them would play in the SEC championship with automatic bids. So those 2 are going to get in. And you think they're going to keep Georgia, Ole Miss, and Vandy out with 1 loss?
No.
So 5 spots are gone. 5 spots are gone in the 12-team playoff.
Would you kick Ole Miss out with 2 losses?
Yeah, immediately. If Ole Miss loses 1, they're gone. Yeah, 100%.
They got the egg. They got the egg bowl. They got the egg bowl, and that thing's always weird.
No, if they lose 1 more, they're gone.
Ole Miss has 1 loss to Georgia. Like, how are we kicking them out?
It's
because they'd have a loss to Mississippi State,
bro. That's what I'm saying, brother. Thick as thieves right now.
I don't think they get kicked out.
The problem is,
I think they want Kiffin in there. I think they want Trinidad in there. I think that offense is fun to watch. I don't know. It's going to be, if that's the case, then they're going to find who they think is the best option to play, and I think they're going to pick Ole Miss. That's just my opinion.
So Ole Miss is 7th. Ole Miss is ranked 7th, right? Okay, so hear me out. All right, there's 12 tiers of 12 teams. You got Ohio State, Indiana, who do not play each other unless they play in the Big Ten. So they're both in.
They'll play which won't matter.
My point exactly. A&M and Alabama, let's just say it plays out like they went out. They're both in, okay? Yep. Georgia wins out, they're in, okay?
Correct.
Oregon's going to win out, they're going to be in. Then you have Georgia Tech, which is going to be an interesting one, but more than likely, they're going to be in. And if they play either, let's say Louisville makes it in to the ACC championship alongside Georgia Tech, who would probably have 1 loss if I'm assuming that Georgia wins. Doesn't matter, they're going to be playing the ACC championship. They're in, and possibly Louisville could be in. So now we're at 8 spots. So with 3 spots left, Vanderbilt would win out. They're in at 9. A Big 12 team has to get in.
And one of the non-Power 5 has to get in. The highest ranked non-Power 5 gets in.
So a Big 12 team is going to get in either BYU or Texas Tech. And you could have both because BYU is undefeated. So what if Texas Tech and BYU go and you have BYU undefeated and Texas Tech?
I think BYU's about to get exposed. I really do. I think that team's going to end up with 2 losses.
Hormones are rolling, brother. So you're at 11. You're at 11 teams right now, and that's not including Notre Dame, who would only have 2 losses as well because they could win out, and a Power 5. So yes, if Ole Miss loses, now you're sitting there at you're sitting on the spot with a 1-loss Texas Tech team, a one loss for possibly Cincinnati team. Like, it gets dicey, bro. So, yes, if Ole Miss loses, it could get weird. 100%.
The quality of wins for Ole Miss is going to put them in over a one-loss Big 12, in my opinion.
I think if Texas Tech with one loss and plays an undefeated BYU and beats BYU in the Big 12 championship and BYU loses it, they're both in, which then would boot out Ole Miss.
If you go off of if we get to that point and they have to figure out the eye test, their eye test is going to go straight to Ole Miss. I'm just telling you because they play offense.
But you can't. Okay, but hold on. You can't if Texas Tech and BYU, it's SMU Clemson all over again.
So who's the loss then for Ole Miss? Who are we thinking they lose to? Either Florida or
it doesn't matter.
Mississippi
Yeah,
State.
it doesn't matter. It's equivalent with the level of loss, in my opinion.
I mean, they're going to look at quality wins. They're going to look at a lot of things.
Texas Tech loss was to
Ole Miss
Arizona
hasn't
State,
been through a
great.
gauntlet. I can tell you that they've had a pretty powder cake schedule.
Ole Miss, yeah, it hasn't been that tough.
Yeah,
no. And Oregon could easily lose to USC. They could lose at Iowa this week. They could lose at Washington.
Oregon could lose to Washington. No, I'm saying like I'm playing best case scenario for these teams.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I just
like there isn't anything any pushback for these teams, and all we were saying is like, hey, if Ole Miss loses, and I go, yeah, if Ole Miss loses too, there is definitely a world where they're going to be fighting to get in, because look, they're not going to be in the control of their own destiny. Is my point, and I stand by that.
I get what you're saying. I just don't think all this is going to happen in the way that you are speaking. I mean,
I think Ole Miss
that would be the worst case scenario for everyone, but I don't think that's going to.
Wouldn't it be incredible if Florida kept Lane Kiffin out of the playoffs 2 years in a row?
Mm-hmm. There is 17. So Notre Dame is the only team that's sitting at number 12, and Notre Dame is the only team with 2 losses in the top 17. Oh, excuse me, and Tennessee, because Tennessee 2 losses are really good too.
Yeah.
So top 17 has 2 teams with 2 losses. So with that in mind, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams undefeated, and the rest of them are 1-loss teams. I do feel weird about my take about a team not about there being no undefeated teams, because it looks very likely right now that could win this thing, but we'll see. Thankfully, Georgia Tech.
If OU wins their next 3 games, Tennessee, Alabama, Mizzou.
Sorry, say again.
So Oklahoma. I'm looking at the bottom game, Ole Miss and Oklahoma. Just talking here, but if Oklahoma goes into Tennessee and then they go into Alabama and they win both of those games, now we're talking about like OU's right back in the damn thing. I mean, I'm just saying, like there is a thing here where there could be a 3-loss team that gets in because of all the situation. No. I disagree. I think
I don't think a 3-loss team has a flying chance. Crazy. Right now, based on what we're looking at, there's not even a 3-loss team in the top 25.
I'm just saying, but you don't think one of these 3-loss SEC teams is going to be ranked in the top 25? Because there's going to be a 3-loss SEC team here.
No.
I think Florida was the only chance of achieving that, and that's a pipe dream now. That's gone.
I think Tennessee will be ranked in top 25
if Tennessee loses another one, they're gone. They're done.
I think if Oklahoma loses, they're still in the top 25.
No. Hell no. They're 18th now. If they lose again, it's going to be a bad loss. They're gone. If Mizzou loses, they're gone. If Texas loses, they're gone.
They play 14 Tennessee. They play 4 Alabama. They play 19 Missouri. You don't think if they beat those teams,
the problem is I don't know who's underneath this 25, but there's probably not enough teams to jump them. But they're not going to be in the top 12. They'll be at the bottom echelon.
Notre Dame could still lose to USC. I mean, there's so
Notre
many
Dame already beat
scenarios.
USC. Notre Dame already beat USC. Notre Dame has nobody left.
You're right. They usually play at the end of the year. I'm sorry. You are correct. That's my fault.
No way a 3-loss team gets into this thing. You're crazy. I'll put money on it.
I think a 3-loss team has a chance.
I'll put money on it.
Do we think even if the scenario of Florida would have came real with 3 losses?
Yeah, I think that Florida's 3-loss still. Look, I said it yesterday ago. I was kind of like 50-50 on it from how I'm seeing this thing shape up. But they would arguably be the only team still. Now, again, who knows though? Because that LSU loss doesn't look very good. The Miami loss is still good, and the A&M loss is really good. The USF obviously couldn't have happened. And then you would have to have. So if that shaped up that way, right, where you lose to. You would have 2 SEC losses. You would probably be out of the SEC championship with that. It'd be tough. It'd be far.
Maybe you flip the USF for the LSU because the LSU game was very winnable. So say they had won that game.
Well, if Florida were to go 9-3, Ole Miss would have, in the hypothetical world, Ole Miss would have a second loss. Georgia would have its second loss, and I think at that point you're arguing for Florida to be over those two loss teams. Doesn't matter.
This is what I think. I think that depending on who your losses are, with the 3 losses, that's if you lost to 3 teams that are in the playoff, you don't think that team might deserve to be in the playoff? They were all close losses.
Well, I mean, yeah, but again, I think when it happens is important too. So if Tennessee drops one here late, that's my point. Is that we're too late in the season. If Tennessee drops one more, they're not going to be right there.
Like if Ole Miss loses to Mississippi State in the Egg Bowl, that's so fresh. I don't think they can. I don't think they can come back from that.
Let's just say
I think it's actually helpful.
If Alabama would have lost to South Carolina this week, they would have had losses against Florida State and South Carolina. Now we're talking about they're talking about them. They'd be the best team in the country, and now. But hold on. Now we're talking. Oh, this team's the best. Like this team was literally a quarter away from being 6 minutes away from being.
Oh, that's irrelevant.
On the brink of not making the playoffs.
They won.
I'm making a point.
Well, okay. So you can't say that. You can't argue that they were one play away from not making the playoffs by having 2 losses to arguing a 3-loss team of getting in.
All I'm saying is a 3-loss team has a chance. That's all my point is.
I don't think so at all this year. Not as of right now. Not even there isn't a 3-loss team that's in the top 25. So
I understand, but that's going to change, guys. We're only 8 games. This is 9 games in. Every team has 4 games left.
So you're telling me a team that's in the top 25 right now is going to drop 2 losses in the next 5 games and get in the playoffs? That's how that would have to shake up.
A lot of them are going to play each other.
They don't though. That's the crazy part. Ohio State doesn't play. Ohio State doesn't play anybody.
I'm not talking big. I'm talking
hold on. I know. Let me go down the list because look, you have to take that into consideration because they're taking up spots in the top 25. They don't play anybody. Because Big Ten championship doesn't count. Indiana doesn't play anybody that's beneath them. That's in the top 25. Oregon doesn't play anybody in the top 25. Alabama, who do they play that's left? I don't think they play anybody that's left in the top 25 either.
Yes, they don't play Oklahoma still.
Okay, they do play Oklahoma, but that's it. So if they beat Oklahoma then would have 3 losses, and they would be gone. They wouldn't be talked about anymore.
They have the Iron Bowl at the end of the year.
They're not ranked. Auburn's not ranked.
They lose to Oklahoma. Okay, let's say Alabama loses to Oklahoma.
Then it shakes things up a little bit.
Both of them have 2 losses, right?
Yeah, that changes some things, which would then make
agree.
But again, 3 losses would it make it even harder for you to get in?
I mean, if Alabama loses 3, they're going to be out. I don't think they're going to, but what I'm saying is if they lose 3, they're going to be out because of their quality of loss.
The only team that I could see making it with 3 losses would be A&M, and here's how this works out. They lose to Mizzou next weekend, right? Which would be 1 loss. They lose to Texas at the end of the year. They'd have 2 losses, and I believe they would squirt their way into the SEC championship even with that second loss. And if they lose in the SEC championship, they would have 3 losses. So that would be the only scenario where I could see it working. But I also think if they lose to Texas, they're probably out of the SEC game, so they wouldn't have an opportunity to lose 3.
We're sitting there going back and forth. I mean, it could go so many different ways. So let's just wait for the next 3 weeks, and then we'll go from there. But
that's gonna be fun. I need the UF hat for real. This hat is on our website, hightopsport.com/shop, boys and girls. So get after it. Hanking around, $10. My man Hank, thanks, man. Well, we got a little off topic there, but that was still fun. I still had a good time. All right, let's talk about Ole Miss here and OU, man. Ole Miss tried to give it away, it felt like at times. But ultimately, our boy, our ex-head coach hangs on and gets it done versus OU, man. OU has taken a slide. I mean, we were talking high of this team, boys. We were all on this train of being the best team in the country, being the best team in the SEC. It was theirs to lose. Mateer goes down with a hand injury. The Texas game, you kind of chalk up of him just being bad, right? And that's not a problem. What's going on now, boys? Their inability to run the football is really starting to be a problem. And could Brent Venerable be next? Is that
Absolutely.
a real conversation to have?
Yes.
It depends how the season. It depends how the rest of the year goes.
Well, sure.
But I mean, if he lost
Ain't
like 2
looking
more
good.
games,
You lost to Texas. You got drummed by Texas.
Have you seen their schedule? They've got at Tennessee, at Alabama, Mizzou at home, and LSU at home.
He's gone.
I'm not. I just don't. I think they lost all that momentum when Mattia broke his hand. They had all the momentum, and they just have not seemed to regain that confidence that they had earlier in the year. They just don't look like the same team. I don't know what it
Yeah,
is.
but you don't
like
even have a guy behind him that can win a game. So you're one player getting injured from folding your whole season.
I mean, they ran the ball pretty well. Also, I don't know. I mean, Xavier Robinson had 9
it
carries
popped.
for 109 yards and 2 touchdowns. So I don't know.
But they usually don't run the ball very well. One of them was a busted play. The other one, they started running a little zone outside tackle, and it worked a little bit. But OU is not the football team that I thought they were going to be. Ole Miss tried to give that thing on a silver platter to Oklahoma, and Oklahoma said, we're good.
The thing is both of these teams are still good football teams. Like, just because they lose, like I still think that OU is a good football team. Just because they lose to Ole Miss doesn't make them a bad football team. It was a
I think they're
great
good.
game.
I think they're a middle tier SEC
so
team. I had
They were winning in the
expectations
fourth quarter.
of them
They
being.
were winning the game in the fourth quarter.
So I think I agree with you. This is what, again, when we argue, when people say the SEC is a better conference, like this is what it boils down to. Is like you watch the games, you can see that both these teams are really, really good, and that's why you as an SEC homer, Ty, are clamoring for 3-loss SEC team to get into the playoffs because you know that SEC is a superior conference, and I appreciate you for finally realizing that.
It's not that I think they're super. I think that this year they have the better football teams. It's not. I don't feel like that every single year, but this year I do feel like they have the better football teams. When you go look at that from like 1 to 8. Now after about the 8th team, it's like pretty big drop off. Don't get me wrong, but they have the most up top teams than they do like all depth wise. Like Kentucky's not good. Arkansas is not good. You can say what you want about Arkansas. They lost to Memphis, so like let's not get it twisted. That team's not very good either.
No.
But when it comes to, I don't think Texas is very good at this point. But
the
like
problem is though, Texas
to,
has enough talent to ruin somebody's day. Like you can't sleepwalk them.
No, I'm not disagreeing, but what I'm saying is like I think there's a case for about eight teams in that conference,
which
this
is
year
a lot.
that have ability. Agreed.
Well, right now we're about five being locked into the
did it
playoffs.
To yourself. That's what annoys me about that. They want to get 3-loss teams in, which I do think they deserve one maybe this year, depending on how everything rolls out. But they did it to themselves because they wanted to make more money. And they've done a great job of making more money. Congratulations. But
your point though is like it is tough when you have just two really good teams, and it's like, man, but again, like you're in a way, we've gotten back to the old way of college football. The SEC has anyway, where back when I was growing up, like you couldn't lose a game, you had to be perfect, and we thought, 12 teams are going to open this thing up a little bit, where you could drop a game or two. I feel like we're right back where we were. We're like, you got to be damn near perfect.
Well, it hasn't played out this year that way. I just think it's the way it's played out. But there's going to be different scenarios for different times of different seasons are going to have different scenarios. But this is one that's playing out. You're correct. Like 2-loss teams are going to get in, but back in the day, 2-loss teams had no shot. So let's not get it twisted.
Sure.
Two-loss, even a 3-loss team has a chance.
Yeah, but Oklahoma and Tennessee have 2 losses right now, and Mizzou's chance of making the playoffs right now is 15%. So Oklahoma, Tennessee, and you're trying to tell me a 3-loss team is going to get in when a 2-loss team right now has a 15% chance of getting in?
Well, that's because they don't. You lose your starting quarterback. We already know what that does.
No. This graphic was being shown for Vandy and Mizzou before that went down. They were saying that their chances of getting in the playoffs if they won that game Saturday was 56%. If either of them lost it, their chances dropped to 15%.
Yeah, I mean it
had nothing to do with the quarterback. It just shows you how tight this because the problem is the Big Ten, they're gonna get 4 in for free. They're gonna get 4 in for free. And Washington's got to be someone to watch out for because they only have 2 losses right now. If they go on an absolute tear, they could squeak in. Who are the 4 that get in? Well, Penn State's not in, but right now it's gonna be Indiana,
Ohio State,
and Oregon. Those are your 3, and then was that it?
At the moment, that would be the only ones that get in for sure.
Yeah, to fall off for the Big Ten, that was so powerful to only have 3 guaranteed. Because after that, it's not even close. Michigan's right there, but there's no way Michigan gets in.
That team doesn't get in. I don't disagree. That team's not getting in.
They're somehow still
I
ranked.
I thought
think
they were.
OU's is still a good
I thought
football
the
team.
Big Ten was the. I thought the Big Ten was the deepest conference.
Yeah, it's
Are
not
you coming
this
at me
year,
with
I can
this?
tell
Are
you.
you attacking me here
I
this
was
morning?
just asking. I was
No.
just
Look,
asking.
hey, 10 toes, stand on it,
The
because I want to
greatest
know if
take
that's
of
what
the
you're
year
trying to
is
do
me
here.
and Cody
Hold on, Ty. Cody
telling
wants to get in the
everybody
box.
that Penn
Hold on.
State sucks.
Go ahead. Are you coming at me?
No, I'm not coming at you. I'm just tired of everybody saying about the Big
No,
Ten. I live in
because
Big
you and I
Ten
argued
country.
about it, and I want to make sure we're on the same page here. What we
Oh, you did
discussed.
say that. You did say if they won a national championship this year, they were on SEC's level. That's exactly what you said. They
that's
haven't
not-
won a national championship this year.
I would say if they won a national championship this year, they would be considered the premier conference, and I still stand by that.
Well, if you win 3 in a row, that'll do it.
I still stand by that. Now, I didn't argue
But that
depth.
doesn't mean you're the best conference. It means you have the best couple teams.
I disagree with that. The SEC rode off of winning national championships, and it wasn't off of just because they had 20 great teams every year. It was 3 or 4 teams that handled their business. So if they won 3 in a row,
Indiana looks great. I mean, they're just like they played UCLA, and yeah, their UCLA's not good. They're supposed to destroy them. They destroyed them. I mean, beat them in every aspect of the game. Indiana's beat everyone in every aspect of the game this year. You guys doubted them against Oregon? I did not. I do believe that team's actually good up front this time, and they can compete because they're better up front than they have been. Just telling you. It's been the difference.
Houston's sitting at 7-1. Big 12's not getting enough love. We got some Big 12 teams here that need some more appreciation, if I'm being honest with you. The fact that I got a 7-1 Houston that's dominated everybody they played, behind a 2-loss Michigan team who has 2 ugly losses, behind a 2-loss trash-ass Texas team, behind a 2-loss quarterback-less Mizzou team, behind a 2-loss wannabe SEC team, Oklahoma, is just disgusting. And Cincinnati 7-1 too. We got 4 one-loss teams in the Big 12. Two of them bad boys should get in. 2 of them should get in. Right now they're not, and that irritates me.
Yeah, I agree.
That's gross.
They could.
That's absolutely gross. The fact that I got 7-1 Oregon up there, that hasn't had the greatest of wins, above who's looked awesome Cincinnati, above I mean, we're talking 20 spots. This is why the preseason rankings piss me the hell off, because Oregon's simply up there because of and I love Oregon. I'm not hating on Oregon, but that's asinine, dude. Like, let's put it what it is. Houston, again, I'm on as much as I argue for SEC bias, I'm still in the same boat. Like, you can't hold their conference against these teams. You can't hold these cats conference. You can't say, hey, you're in the Power 4, but your 4 is a little bit less than ours.
There's a lot of good teams. I agree.
That's why the 3 losses is crazy.
Saying that they're.
I would say the Big 12 has more competitive depth than the Big 10.
The problem is they don't get the national hype that those other 2 conferences get. All that ESPN loves to talk about is the Big 10 and the SEC, and that's the stone cold facts of it. They don't like to talk about the Big 12. They like to talk about the SEC and the Big 10. That's what they love to talk about, and that's why they get most love, and that's the stone culture.
The Big 10 should just be the Big 2. There's only 2 teams worth a damn in that whole conference every year.
Well, they're getting 3 and 4. Real quick, boys.
They're getting better. Texas Tech's getting pretty good.
This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this football season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. We got Monday Night Football here. Decided to go a little bit lighter. I usually kind of get 4 or 6 in my lineup, 4 to 5. I like to get dicey, but I was like, it was National Tight End Day yesterday, but I think we've got some carryover headed in today. I like Travis Kelce for more than 41 and a half receiving yards. I also need him to have a big game for fantasy, but that's another day, another point. Patty Mahomes, more than 1.5. These boys have been on an absolute burner, on a mission since taking that L to the Jaguars, and the Jaguars have essentially quit their season after that. But again, another conversation for another day. And then I think with Marcus Mariota coming in with his Washington team, I'm seeing a lot of field goals in my future. My crystal ball is telling me more than half. We just need 1. That's a kind of a little layup there for the boys. Nice little small one here. So maybe you put a little more extra cheddar on if you're feeling pretty good about it. Prize Pick is the only app that offers stacks, meaning you can pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. Want to pick more on Josh Allen's pass yards, rush yards, and touchdowns? Now you can. Pick all of them in the same lineup only on Prize Pick, which is actually really cool because there's times where you're like, yo, I know this cat's going to have himself a day. There's running backs I'm like, I wish I could have put him in for more than an anytime touchdown plus the yards because you just know he's going to eat. Prize Picks, now you can, baby. Also, download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code HIGHTOP to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code HIGHTOP to get $50 on lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it is good to be right. Also, follow other Prize Pick players directly on the app and copy their lineups in one click. Whether it's a friend, a celebrity partner, or just someone who picks you like, hit the follow button and check out every lineup they create in the new feed tab on Prize Picks. So maybe if you're kind of like, hey, I ain't smart enough to get it done, it's now social media on there. So check it out. Again, use the code HIGHTOP. Get after it, boys and girls. Shout out to Prize Picks for doing all the good stuff for us. Let's wrap it up here, boys. We got Bama, South Carolina. According to Ty, Bama's done. They're washed after this one here.
That's not what I said.
That's
said
what I heard.
You talk about liabilities of team. Running the football is a liability for that football team. They have not ran the ball worth a damn, and nobody on that team has run a ball worth a damn. And I'm just saying, without Ty Simpson, they had no shot to win that football game against South Carolina. I'm just telling you, it is a liability. If you want to talk about liabilities, that is a liability because they can't do anything with running the football.
What do you think the problem
South Carolina's
is?
not exactly been dominant. I mean, they're 6 minutes away from having 2 losses to 2 teams that don't even have winning records. So if we're going to sit here and talk like they're the best team in the country, they're not. I'm sorry, they're not. And you know what? Do you know what the point spread is against LSU, a team that's looked miserable this week? You know what it is? 5.5 at home. So obviously the lines makers see exactly what I see. They can't run the damn ball, and it's a problem, and it's going to end up being a problem, and it might cost them a game that they probably shouldn't lose, and it might be this week. Because we all know when you fire your coach, your team likes to come out fired up and play football. So I don't know. I'm not sold on the Alabama team, and it's basically because their running attack does not exist. It can't exist. It doesn't exist.
Who's the best team in college football?
Maybe the Indiana
Who's?
Hoosiers. Actually, I think Texas A&M just right now, just because
I agree.
believe in what
I think
Mark
A&M
does,
is.
and I believe that their defense is good enough. But the Hoosiers have dominated everyone, so I mean, I can't. I don't know.
So is A&M.
They went into Oregon.
Honestly.
Agreed. I think both of those teams. I'm still not sold on Ohio State because I haven't seen them play anyone except week 1, and it was 14-7 against a Texas team that's not very good to begin with. So I'm not sold on Ohio State being the best team in the country. They got the most talent, but I don't think they're the best.
Yeah, and again, this is where I go back to the Big Ten. I was talking to my buddy today. It's like, man, like we always say, like, oh, these teams are good. These teams, bro, ain't nobody clocked into an Ohio State game since week 1.
Right.
Like, let's call it facts. Wrong. Let's call it what it is. Nobody has gave a damn about Ohio State. They played Illinois. Nobody gave a damn about that game. We tune into Ohio State twice a year. They'll play a random team from the SEC in the beginning of the year, and then Michigan. That's it. And look, they win, so it doesn't really matter. But this is what irritates me of the Big Ten. I've turned into more Indiana Hoosier games than I have Ohio State this year. But that's where the Big Ten's got to get this shit figured out because ain't nobody give a damn about these games. They don't even get primetime television because nobody cares to watch Ohio State whip up on Minnesota. All right? But I got a little carried away there on my hotness. Look, I think Bama has definitely some faults. Why do you think they can't run the ball with having one of the best offensive lines in the country?
23 carries for 72 yards as a team. Jam Miller, 10 carries, 26 yards.
Yeah, not good.
And 23 of those yards were a receiver in the round.
Don't yell at me. I'm asking you. Why can't they run the football, Tyler?
I don't know. I just don't. They obviously don't. Either they don't block as well as people think they do, or maybe they just pass block. They sure as hell don't run block.
How was that team? How did that team ran in Washington with Michael Penix? I don't remember how they ran it, but I wonder if it's just the offensive that they run here that it's more. It just doesn't. It's not needed. They don't rely on it as much. Although you're going to need it. I'm not saying that you don't.
You are going to need it.
I know. But I'm asking questions.
I want to know who their leading rusher is because I guarantee you that it's probably Ty Simpson. And I'm not even joking. It might be Ty Simpson. I think he might be a leading rusher on his football team.
Possible.
That's
yeah. Well, Jam hasn't played all year, so it's probably is.
But even when he has played, he's done absolutely nothing.
He didn't play till like week 5, so it's 100% Ty Simpson. Yeah, he only had like one good game since he's been back.
Jam Miller leads the team in rushing with 308 yards.
Wow.
Yeah, 308.
Well,
the problem with Ty Simpson is they take the sacks.
Right. And in college, you take the sacks and 100%. But 3.8 yards a carry is what we're talking
here.
That's
not the Bama of old.
right.
He is. He's grumpy, guys.
It's an issue. I'm not saying. I'm just telling you. Everyone's talking about Alabama this, Alabama that. When you can't run the ball in this playoff, it's going to be a problem. The playoffs will bite you if you can't.
And that's where A&M does a really good job with. Look, right now, Indiana looks like the most complete team. They look like they can beat you in every facet of the football game. They've got good like that was the thing we've talked about. I was like, hey, who's got good quarterback play? Well, Indiana does. Hey, who's got good defense? Indiana does. Who's got a coach that's a killer? Indiana does. They look like it's theirs to lose. We'll find out about Indiana when they play Ohio State in the Big Ten Championship. I think we'll find out about both teams, which is great because they'll probably see each other again. But the season's just getting warmed up. I feel like we're in a weird way, as much parity as there's been, we are still learning about a lot of teams. Like the verdict is out on a handful, but there's still a handful. I mean, look, let's go through it. We don't know what we got in Ohio State. We don't know what we got, and to be honest with you, in Georgia yet.
They're not much better at running the ball. Their leading rusher has 408 yards.
Who?
Ohio State.
I haven't played anybody. Again, that's why I said with the verdict is still out on these teams. Ohio State, Georgia, I would say it's still out. Oregon, maybe. I don't want to put Miami in there. I feel like we got a pretty good synopsis of them. Texas Tech, I don't want to put it on them. Virginia, one-loss team. Louisville, Cincinnati, all one-loss teams. Verdict still out, boys. Verdict still out. Houston.
Virginia's not good.
Better than FSU.
You're not going to get that argument from me.
Hanging around $10. I personally know one of Buddy's sources. I believe him without question. He was on staff at Ole Miss and has a natty ring from FSU. I think he's referring to the money situation with that he wrote. We talked to Allie and she said the same thing. I want to be clear. I never discredited the man's article. I keep getting like lobbed into this. I didn't really even say much about it. I just thought it was funny because people were panicking about the article. I didn't say it was wrong. $2. Cody, chat's getting rowdy. Let's reel him in. Let's reel him in. I don't know when he said that, but
reel him in, buddy.
And then $2 says Florida already played in playoffs with their schedule. You ain't lying. They've been through the ringer. Well, gentlemen, great show, great conversations.
Really good.
They beat you, bitch ass. Hey, smash the like button. We need at least over 100 likes. Come on now, let's get after it. Good show. Cody's so pouty. Hopefully, Cody comes tomorrow with a new slate, a reset.
I was looking up the leading rushers real fast before we hop off.
Yeah, me and Ty, our back is killing us from carrying this show with excitement. But,
no
beer of the
Amon
day.
Hardy, Mizzou.
Yeah,
Amon Hardy, Mizzou. Jeremiah Love is at 10. Like, not a bunch of backs that. Like,
Justice Haynes.
Teams just aren't running the.
He was. Hey, guess what? Justice Haynes used to play for Alabama. You know how many he has for Michigan? 857.
Yeah, he's been good.
Teams aren't running the ball like they used to either, I don't think.
Try to get the quarterbacks involved.
I'm just
great show. Good stuff, boys. Show's brought to you by Prize Picks, boys. A lot of great takes here that we're gonna have to reevaluate here, revisit in a couple of weeks. Y'all be good. Peace and love, baby. Hey, tonight 8:15. Be there. Be square. Cody, cheer up. It could be worse. You could be Ty. You could be an FSU fan.
And it's truly eyebrows running the show.
Or it could be great.
I'll wear it, buddy.
Top sports, baby.
Let's get it. Let's go.